UK court agrees to hear copyright lawsuit brought by self-proclaimed Bitcoin investor. Yes, Craig Wright is back again, this time suing Bitcoin.org and pseudonymous operator Cobra. Wright is suing Cobra because he posted the Bitcoin white paper on Bitcoin.org. It seemed absurd for a long time. Cobra getting the claims dismissed, calling them without merit in a blog. However, it seems that the United Kingdom court has a very lenient or small standard and is allowing this lawsuit to be brought. To start on this one, we'll go to Stefan Kinsella from the Open Crypto Alliance. You probably have the inside scoop on this and more information than any of us. So go ahead, Stefan.
Yeah, and our focus is on patent filings, which are threatening to Bitcoin, some by in-chain and some by others. Of course, I've been long a critic of all types of intellectual property. I'm a patent attorney, by the way. Trademark, patent, and copyright, and all three, interestingly, are being threatened by various actors in the crypto space. Saying that using the name Bitcoin is a trademark infringement. Saying that having a copy of the white paper is some kind of copyright infringement, and then the patent problem too. And in fact, the one danger of the copyright claim is you could say that everyone operating a node or miners are infringing copyright every 10 minutes because there's a copy made of the white paper because it's embedded into the blockchain. So in theory, the desire would be to get a court order to not just to shut down someone from hosting the white paper, but to get a court order making anyone hosting a node to shut down, because that's infringement. So it's a way to try to control the real Bitcoin chain and to try to get another chain to be more dominant. I think that the claim is totally. Go ahead.
Does Wright want to? Like you said, that it would force the miners to shut down, force the nodes to shut down. Does Wright really want to shut down the entire Bitcoin network? Would that benefit him if that was the outcome?
Well, I don't know. I think his strategy is all over the map, but it could be that he thinks that maybe that would give BSV a boost to become the main one or something like that. The copyright claim is ridiculous. The fact that the UK court is going to hear it is just standard procedure. He'll be heard. I think it's almost certain he'll lose because he'd have to prove he's the owner, and given his reputation and the fact that he hasn't proved that he is Satoshi, which most people say he obviously could if he is, would make it appear that he hasn't satisfied his burden of proof. But I think what he's trying to do is just bolster his claims that he is Satoshi. I think that's his main goal in these lawsuits, is to try to get some official recognition from some court that he is Satoshi, which is why they trumpeted early on. They said the U.S. Copyright Office registered their copyright filing proving that he's Satoshi, but that's of course not the case, because the Copyright Office doesn't examine claims of authorship. They just make you swear that you are the author, and under penalty of a fine, which he did. And they just said, okay. And then they sent it back. They said, are you sure? He said, yes. So he just said, I'm sure. And then they issued a press release saying, clarification, just because they're saying that our registering of his application means he's the copyright owner is not actually the case. So it has zero evidentiary weight that he was able to register the copyright. Any one of us could do it right now as well if you're willing to commit perjury.
And not that the audience has, but I think many in the audience who are also Satoshi Nakamoto may have filed those forms. And if you were Satoshi, it would not be perjury. So
correct.
Just up on that. Ben Ark, your thoughts on the court case being brought by Dr. Wright?
I went to a BSV. I strongly urge, if there's ever a BSV or a Bcash meetup in your local area, as a Bitcoiner, just go in your Bitcoin t-shirt and your paraphernalia and just sit there, because it reins them in. Just your presence reins them in. So it's this BSV talk, and it was called Patenting Blockchain, and it was by his patent lawyers who were there, and they were doing this talk on how you can patent the blockchain. And there are loads of people in suits. It's very funny actually, because I was with one of the guys from the Cardiff Bitcoin meetup, which is a good big Bitcoin meetup, which I think why the BSV guys are sort of like targeting it as somewhat to spread their horrible propaganda. And at one point he stood up and he went, come to our Bitcoin meetup. There's 30 people there. None of them are paid. You see all you lot, you're all being paid. It's quite a sort of embarrassing moment. I was like, oh God. But I was speaking to his patent lawyer afterwards. And at one point we were talking about Satoshi and she said, oh, you know, he, she, whoever it may be, we don't know who it is, do we? And I was like, and I think reading between the lines, these people are making bank from this guy. So they're like, yeah, okay, crazy rich billionaire, give us some money and, you know, we'll go to some court and then, you know, try and convince people that Craig Wright is Satoshi. But, oh, someone put up a message, nicely played. That was using LNTX, but that's a bit naughty. That's the problem with, you can't, not messages you can't censor.
LN transaction bot messages do not reflect the opinions of the World Crypto Network.
Yeah. Well, they reflect the opinion of me, to be fair. So good call, whoever that was. But yeah, so everyone's just making money around him. It will go to court, and actually UK courts, something we do quite well in this country is bureaucracy, and UK courts are quite sensible places. You know, they're not perfect, all courts aren't perfect, but they are quite sensible places where he'll just be tossed out as just a fraudster and a clown, and you know, the judge won't hold back on putting him in his place, I'm sure. And I look forward to that, even though we won't be able to see it. But yeah, I look forward to hearing about that happening, which will happen.
Yeah, can I add something? I was just going to say, I think it's actually a good thing, because I think we'll probably get finally a single definitive ruling that one of his IP claims connected to his claim to be Satoshi has been struck down by a court. So, and copyright suits are not nearly as expensive to defend as a patent suit. So I think that this probably will end up being a good thing for Bitcoin.
I mean, he has to continue with the lie because he has so many people who have invested in him, like Calvin Ayre and people like this. He has like these other gazillionaires who are involved in this fraud, who do think that he is Satoshi. So he has to continue with this lie and continue, you know, making these claims, but he just continues to unravel himself. I mean, he keeps choosing the UK. He chose the UK to come out, and he did that BBC thing where he proved with that weird, convoluted cryptographic signature that he was Satoshi by signing something with some key, and then published the proof. And what the Bitcoin community was amazing. Within, like, I think it was about 40 minutes, it was completely disproved and pulled apart on Reddit by actual, you know, geniuses, actual Bitcoin geniuses, which we're lucky to have. So he has to continue this charade, this lie, and it's just watching a train wreck in slow motion, which is, you know, it's going to happen.